Yeah, no matter what I do there, my hair's going to look terrible. I need a haircut. Quite bad. I'm back, guys, once again, and this time we're doing Klingons. Um, I've had a couple of views on the first video, which was Federation. Obviously, it's still quite fresh. It's only, 12 hours old, maybe 24 hours, so it's not going to get anything yet. Just on the Romulan one, it's only had one view. I think that might have been me checking it back out. But I've decided I'm going to push on ahead because I promised that I was going to do all of the different factions. So I'm going to go with it, and I'm doing Klingon this time. So I am going to dive straight in. Hopefully there's going to be no disruption from the dog, who's just been told to go and lie down and he's sulking. But yeah, we're going to go straight into the Klingons, guys. Remember, these ones now are not in any sort of particular order. They are just there, basically. But we're starting off with ships. So the first Klingon ship that is on my top 10s, the Tong. So it is a Katinga class, which is basically a D7. It's a 4143 stat line. It's got a tech slot, 2 weapons, and I got a very itchy nose, and 1 crew. Also states that when attacking a ship with your primary weapon that has a larger hull value and or primary weapon value than your ship, you can gain 1 attack dice, which works lovely because 9 times out of 10, if you're going against Federation these days, they do have big powerhouses on both of those numbers. So for a 24-point ship, that is great. Into number 9 is the Devul. I like the Devul. I've played it a few times myself in games and stuff. It is a 5163. It's got 1 tech, 1 weapon, 3 crew. It's 28 points. And it has the ability that when attacking, if this ship is cloaked, you can disable a Klingon crew upgrade equipped to this ship. And then when you do, you do not discard the ship's cloak token to its red side. And you can place a battle station. Excuse me, I'm having a bit of repetitiveness again. Into 8. The Pa. The Pa. One of my favourite ships from the series. It was the episode where Riker goes on board as a sort of liaison. What do they call them? Exchange. As a crew exchange between them and the Enterprise. And something starts to eat at the hull. They think that the Enterprise has come back to destroy them. Turns out it hasn't. It's come back to warn them, etc., etc. Great episode. But we're not here to talk about the series. We're here to talk about the ships. So, stat line of 4153. It is a Cavort class. And, bear with me a second, before I start repeating again. So, I remember saying to you earlier on in a video about the Cavort class. Speaking of which, the Vaughn. So we was on about arcs and stuff with weapons. There you go. So you can see it yourself. It's got a front arc, but then the dotted line for the secondary firing arc is actually inside that V shape, if you like. So that is, as a matter of fact, that's actually the Vaughn, which is one of my top 10 ships as well. So, happy days. Back to it though, the Pa. So, when attacking, you can convert one of your critical results into a hit result, and if you do, you may also then convert one of your blanks into a hit as well. So basically, you're swapping 1 crit for 2 hits. Technically, works absolutely great. Moving across to number 7. Number 7 for me, is Kronos 1 or Kronos 1. I'm not sure which way you want to put it. No worries. Kronos 1 is a Katinga class once again. It's a 4143 again. It's got 2 weapons, 2 crew, and the ability of any ship attacking you at range 3 rolls 1 less attack dice. So you'll gain a defense dice, but they'll lose an attack dice as well. Perfect for 24 points. In at 6 is the Koskari. I love the Koskari, especially on Star Trek Online. I love the Christmas event where you have to kill the gummy Koskari. But basically, yeah, it is number 6 on my list. One of my favourite ships. It's a 4133. It's a Burrell, so it's similar to the Cavort, but not quite the same. As you can see, the Cavort has got 5-3, whereas the Burrell has got 3-3. Slightly earlier ship, I believe. It does have a nice little ability. So when attacking a ship with a hull value of 4 or greater, you can steal a scan, a battle station, or an evade token from the defending ship and place it beside this one. When attacking a Klingon ship or a ship with a Klingon captain equipped to it, you can add 1 hit. I've frozen up a second. There we go. So, Koskari is only 16 points. It is on my list as one of my littlest favourites. As you can see why now. Going on to 5 is the Mata. I like the Mata. New Dak was great captain. It was a great episode of TNG as well. And of course, it's a Forger class. It's a 5-1-5-3 stat line with a tech slot, a weapon, and 2 crew. With the ability that states any ship attacking you at range 1 rolls 1 less attack dice. So they'll gain 1 for their range bonus, but then they'll lose 1 because of the exact same reason. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword for your opponent, that one. As we've already said, it's got a lovely little stat line of 5-1-5-3. So it's not too sad, really, to be fair. It's probably one of the stronger ships, next to, obviously, things like the Devil, who've got a lot more. Moving on, we've got 4, the Vaughn. There he is himself, the Vaughn. So the Vaughn for me is, if this ship is cloaked, if the defending ship is at range 1, this ship rolls +2 attack dice. If the defending ship is at range 2, this ship will roll +1 defense dice. So it is basically punishing your opponent for being close. Hey, you're at range 1. I'm rolling 2 extra defense dice. You're now having 6. Sorry, attack dice. You're now rolling against 6 dice. Oh, you're at range 2. Oh, how cute. No bonuses for me? Okay, I'll have 1. You ain't having nothing, though. Quite evil, really, how it works. But the Vaughn is on my list at number 4. Rolling on to 3, Complex Attack Cruiser. So it's a Vulture class again. It's a 5-1-5-3 stat line again. 1 crew, 1 weapon. Sorry, 1 tech, 1 weapon, 2 crew. It's got the action this time. So action, target a cloaked friendly ship within range 1 to 2 and place a battle station token besides all target ships. So if you're in a fleet formation, there's 4 of you in there, and Cumpex at the back, and he's got range 1 on the other 3 ships, or 2 ships, however many ships you roll in, then you could turn and say, oh, you're cloaked, and you're cloaked. I'll tell you what, have battle stations, boys. Absolutely beautiful. Because obviously they don't have a battle station naturally. In at 2, we've got the Takog. So it's got a free action. You can perform a sensor echo even if the ship is not cloaked. If this ship is cloaked, you may use the 3 maneuver template for this action. So obviously cloaking only allowed to use 1s or 2s. The Takog gives you that extra maneuver to be able to do a third at range 3, which is beautiful. 21 points, 4-1-4-3 stat line with 1-1-2 on its nice upgrade bar. Can't really go wrong for the price of it, really. And finally, my favourite of all the Klingon ships. This is definitely 100% my number 1 guy, and you're about to see why. It's Chang's Bird of Prey. Chang's Bird of Prey is a 4-1-3-3 bird of prey, and if you attack with torpedoes while cloaked, you do not flip your token over to its red side. So as long as you just keep pummeling in with photon torpedoes, you'll never have to worry about taking your cloak off. It's got 2 weapon slots, so you can put 2 sets of Klingon torps on there, or whatever it is you want to put on there. Hell, put the Federation ones on for an extra point, you might as well. You're going to be rolling, 3 points for each, so, why not? It works absolutely lovely. But yeah, Chang's Bird of Prey is my favourite of the Klingon ships, to be fair. I could have gone with honourable mentions of things like the Savul or I can't remember the name of the other one, but basically the Mirror warships. They're quite nasty. But yeah, at the moment that is my favourite top 10 Klingon ships just there, as you can just about see. Next up, we've got captains. As you know, if I do this, yes, that is a Romulan symbol. If I do this, it means that there's a double card underneath. So, pew, my first two captains are Chang, because I couldn't make my mind up as to which one I like more. So, we'll start with left-hand Chang, as I call him. He is a Captain Skill 6 4-pointer. His action is spend your target lock to perform this action. Disable the captain card on the ship that was target locked. So if you've got a target lock on another ship, you can literally turn around and say, okay, my action this turn, spend my target lock and disable that captain. On the contrary, you've got Captain Skill 7 4-point cost Chang. So during the activation phase, if your ship is cloaked, before you move, you may perform an additional Sensor Echo. So you could Sensor Echo first, then move, and then Sensor Echo later. Absolutely broken, but works lovely. If you do so, you may still perform a normal Sensor Echo action after you move, during the perform action step, as Chang says there, which is beautiful. So, like I said, I couldn't make my mind up, so I put them both in. Next up is number 9 for captains. It's got to be Martok, the one-eyed giant. His action is, when attacking with your primary weapon, you gain 1 attack dice and roll -2 defense dice this round. So again, double-edged sword. If you're cloaked, -2 defense dice isn't going to bother you. You're still going to be rolling, 4, 3 anyway. But you can also convert one of your hits into a critical result as well. He is a Captain Skill 7, and he only costs you 4 points, which is why that Martok is one of my favourites. Also, bear with me a second, if my mouse works, there we go. He's got an Admiral side, which lets you do it all as a fleet action. Moving on to number 8. We have Mirror Universe Core. This core came in the Kelvin Timeline Mirror Universe pack, and he is absolutely brilliant. So during setup, you choose an opposing ship, and when attacking the chosen ship, this ship may roll +1 attack dice and convert up to 2 battle stations into hits. And then when defending against it, you roll +1 defense dice and convert up to 2 battle stations into evades instead. Not really much more to say there. 4 points and a Captain Skill of 7. And he is triggerable by the Daha MasterCard. So we'll get into that one later. Into 7 is Animated Koloth. Koloth, this version is in the Animated Series Faction Pack. Personally, one of my favourites again. So when attacking, you place 2 time tokens on this card. Defending player must disable a captain or crew upgrade equipped to the defending ship. If they can't, you place an auxiliary power token beside the defending ship. So it's not an optional, well, I'll just take the auxiliary. You have to disable a captain or a crew first. He is a 4-pointer with a Captain Skill of 7, but if you've noticed, there seems to be a lot of 4-pointers with Captain Skill 7s. So it works well. Going into number 6. I'm trying to remember. If I remember, it should be Gowron. It is Gowron. So, we've got Captain Gowron and we've got Admiral Gowron. Obviously, I've not done Admirals again, but Admiral Gowron is underneath this card here, which we'll get to shortly. But Gowron is 3 points to play, a Captain Skill of 5. His action is, If there is not already a battle station token beside your ship, you can place a battle station token beside your ship. In addition, if your ship is a Klingon ship with a Klingon captain assigned to it, you are the Klingon captain, and you 9 times out of 10 will be on a Klingon ship. You may immediately perform an action listed on your action bar as a free action as well. Beautiful. The other one then is another action-based Gowron. He's 4 points, but he's only a skill 6 this time. All other friendly Klingon ships within range 1 to 2 of your ship will gain +1 attack dice this round. So he does lovely. Let me just nab. There we go. Just nab that. Flip it. So then you've got Admiral Gowron. Doesn't add anything to your captain. He has 3 points to run him as an admiral, and he does exactly the same thing. Just move that back into place. And wait for the computer to unfreeze itself. There we go. Rolling on 5. The Somro Commander. So Somro Commander, each time you attack at range 3, if you do not have an auxiliary power token beside your ship, you may add +1 attack dice. If you add the attack dice, you place an auxiliary power token. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get rid of that auxiliary power token next turn, so you might as well just use that ability every turn and just get rid of it again next turn. He is only 3 points, but he is a captain skill 5, so it works lovely. Rolling in on 4, you probably imagine now, because there's only a couple of captains left, and this one seems to have 2 cards underneath. Let's take a guess who it is. That's right, you've got it. The captain skill 4s, Lursa and Bator. They will appear on this list twice because of what they can do. So, Lursa, you may perform a cloak or a sensor echo as a free action if your ship has the appropriate action on its action bar. So you have to have the actions first. If you haven't, you can't do it. Over to Bator. A friendly ship within range 1 to 2 of your ship may use the action or ability on your elite talent upgrade as if it were assigned to their own ship. Very nice. But then I won't read the bottom of the cards because they'll come back later and we'll read them then. Into 3. It's Old Core. He is high on the list because so many fleets use him. Obviously, Dahar Master works with him as well. So when an opposing ship within range performs a maneuver, range 1 to 2, you can place 2 tokens on him and perform a maneuver on this ship's dial with a speed of 2. So basically, if you're trying to outrun someone and they come in behind you at range 1 to 2, you can then trigger Koloth and move further out the way with the speed of 2. That maneuver doesn't state what it has to be. It can be any speed 2 that you like. So you could do a 2 hard left, if you wish, or 2 hard right. He is Captain Skill 7 and 4 points to play. Oh look, again, 4 points Skill 7. In at 2. Kang. So Old Kang is very, very naughty in the game. If you equip his wife to your ship, he's even naughtier. We'll get to his wife later because she is in the list. But Kang is a Captain Skill 4. He is 4 points to play. And basically, at the start of the game, you can target a captain equipped to an opposing ship. And when attacking, during the modify attack dice step, if the target captain is equipped to the defending ship, you can discard Kang and add 2 critical results instead. And this is where his wife will come into play, but we will discuss her later. And finally, number 1 on my list is Core. Old Core, funnily enough. Hang on a minute. I've put the wrong core down. Hang on, that's not the right core. Bear with me a second. So for anybody who does actually play the game and knows what this little place up here is, don't ever come up here. This is called the Island of No Touchy, and you're not supposed to touchy it. But I do, unfortunately. Just give the computer a second to catch up, because there's a lot of cards in there. So, I've actually put the wrong core. How did I get the wrong core? Happens now and again, I suppose. So the core that I was actually looking for is the animated core. So let me just bring him down. So I'll leave the other core there as well because both cores are actually quite handy, to be fair. Let me zoom back in a bit. So he's a cost of 5, captain skill of 8. He's a cost of 4 with a captain skill of 6. So the action on this one, if your ship is not cloaked, all enemy ships at range 1 to 3 must attack your ship this round. So when defending against each of those attacks, you roll +2 defense dice on your roll. I've seen someone put him on a Sutherland tank that's basically built for defense, and literally he made everybody attack him every round, and it just never died. It was really funny to watch. But then you've got the other core, which is obviously the one that everybody normally goes for. If this ship is cloaked, place 2 time tokens on its card. This ship rolls +1 attack dice this attack, and this ship's cloak token does not flip to its red side. If this card is equipped to a Klingon ship, you can also add 1 hit. 9 times out of 10 it is. So that is the top 10 captains as well, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, we've got the top 10 elites. The elite talents. Starting in at number 10. Cry Havoc. Cry Havoc is a absolutely fantastic card. So your action, if you are cloaked, discard this card to remove your cloak token and flip all your shields back to their active sides. You are no longer considered to be cloaked. But during the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, you gain 2 attack dice this round. You cannot roll defense dice this round. But when you use Cry Havoc, you're normally outside of their arc anyway, so, you know, it's not really going to matter too much. But Cry Havoc is absolutely dirty. Especially with the one Chang, I think it's this one, who basically gives you all the sensor echoes you need to get out of the way, and then you can use that as your action. But moving on to number 9, it's Devotion to Duty. Action. When attacking with your primary weapon this round during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to gain +1 attack dice for every damage card assigned to your ship. If you've got a big hull ship, like I don't know, the Devil maybe, who's got 6 hull, that ship will trigger. That card triggers as an action if you take it. And what you can do is you can have a little bit of fun and say, okay, I've got 4 damage cards on my hull. I'll just hit you for an extra 2 damage. So you can roll 2 extra attack dice on top of the 5 dice attack, I believe it is. Works lovely. Moving on to 8. Klingon Honor. So your action is to disable this card to add +1 attack dice and convert 1 hit result into a crit result during any 1 attack you initiate this round. You cannot roll any defense dice this round. So if you notice, a lot of the Klingon cards work where if you're going to hit them with extra dice, you're not going to get to defend, unfortunately. But that's fine. You can deal with that normally. It is 5 points to play it, but you know, you may want to run it. Overwhelm is in at 7, so basically 4 points to play it. You place 2 time tokens on this card. This game round, for each other friendly ship that attacked the defending ship, this ship will roll +1 attack dice and may convert 1 blank into a battle station. So one of my favourites. I use Overwhelm a fair bit, to be fair. So, you know, if you're planning on using Klingons at some point, that is a solid go-to card for your elite talent. 6 is Strafing Run. It can only be put on a Cavort or Burrell. If your ship's base or maneuver template overlapped an opposing ship, you roll 1 attack dice, and on a hit or crit result, the opposing ship will suffer 1 damage. Which is great because you're not going to get an action, so, oh, okay, I don't get an action, but here you go, have a hit instead, providing you roll it. Pretty self-explanatory, so moving on straight away to 5. Today is a good day to die. Action. Discard this card. All ships may convert. Sorry. All ships may convert all hits into crits this game round. So if you've got something that converts all the way up to hits, that's going to hurt. Because you can then convert them all back to crits. If you had something, for instance, like going back to the Federation side of things, if you wanted to put that on a Federation ship, it would be absolutely broken. Because you could just go, fair enough, today's a good day to die, fire my photons, convert them all up to hits. Oh, because I got today's a good day to die and I've used it as my action, everything's going to flip over to criticals instead. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. On to number 4. Evasive maneuvers. Only be used on the Cavort class. I think that's the Cavort class. I believe. Yep. Only on the Cavort class. When this ship spends a evade token, you can place 1 time token on this card and then place 1 evade token beside this ship. So if you spend 1, you gain 1. It's only 4 points. It's basically a way of saying you buy 1, you get 1 free. It's probably a British advert joke that if you are watching in America or somewhere else in the world, you're not going to get. But, it's all good. Moving on to number 3. Eye for an eye. When defending, deal damage step. If this ship suffers a face-up damage card and the attacking ship is in your primary firing arc, discard this card to deal the attacking ship 1 face-up damage card. So, you've hit my hull with a critical. There you go. You can have 1 back as well. And that's basically how that works. 2 points. Definitely worth a run. Moving over to Cunning in at number 2. It's 5 points, so it is quite costly. But when attacking, if the ship has no active shields, which if you're cloaked, you don't, you can convert a blank into a hit. And then when defending, you can re-roll 1 blank. Beautiful. Finally, number 1 is the 2-point upgrade that everybody likes to run. It is the Master. So it can be equipped to a captain named Kang, Koloth, or Cole. You increase the captain skill of this captain by 1 for each copy of the Master in your fleet, including this one. Activation phase. This ship may perform a cloak action or a target lock as a free action. So basically, first turn, before you move, you cloak all your ships that have got the Master. As you get to within range 3, you then target lock everything instead. Beautiful card. Moving on swiftly, we're going to go down to the tech options. So in at number 10 for tech, the prototype Klingon, prototype cloaking device. When attacking while cloaked, you may disable this card before rolling any dice to keep your token from flipping to its red side. If you do this, during the modified attack dice step of the combat phase, you may place an auxiliary power token beside your ship to choose any number of your attack dice and re-roll them. So, works lovely. You're cloaked, and you don't have the best of attack dice. So you're going to play this, disable it, don't switch your target over, take an auxiliary power token, and then re-roll as many dice as you want. Great card. Number 9. Advanced Weapon Systems. So when attacking, you may disable this card before rolling any dice to keep your cloak token from flipping to its red side. Nice and easy. Only thing is, very costly at 5 points. Number 8. Security Sensors. If an enemy upgrade or captain targets your ship, immediately place 1 evade token beside your ship, even if there is already 1 there. As we've already discussed in previous videos, you can only perform each once, unless you have a maneuver or an ability that states otherwise. It is 5 points, so it can be quite costly to run a couple of copies of it. but still a great card to run all the same. 7. The Targeting Array. Great little alliance. Part 2 upgrade. It costs you 4 points, but you can basically have 2 target locks at once. So whenever you would perform a target lock, you take a second one. And you can go, pew, okay, you're now target locked. Oh, by the way, pew, so are you. That will trigger for things like Dahar Master. So if you use Dahar Master to take a free target lock, Targeting Array will give you a second one. So it works absolutely beautiful. Coming in at number 6, Secondary Relays. When this ship would disable a weapon upgrade, if you do not have an auxiliary power token beside the ship, you may place an auxiliary power token instead. So it keeps your weapons from turning and being disabled, but you do take an auxiliary power token, which you just go, whoop, done. And then it's all about, just getting rid of the auxiliary power token next turn. Going for 5, Passive Sensors. Passive Sensors are great, so as you noticed during Alliance, if you've played Alliance, the Klingons don't actually have the ability to scan. This is the only way you can actually perform a scan. What you would do is, during the end phase of the turn that you do not attack, you place a scan token on this card, and then as a free action next turn, you can take it from the card and put it on your ship instead. 2 points, you can't go wrong. Flipping over number 4, we've got the Emergency Override. So as an action again, if you execute a green maneuver this round, you can disable this card to repair one of your shields. Does not work for cloaked shields, I believe, but still, if your cloak's not looking the best, you've got no shields, you can always bring it back using Emergency Override and healing it. And for 2 points, what more would you want? Go for 3, Reinforced Bulkheads. When this ship receives a face-up damage card, you can turn that damage card face down unless it is Warp Core Breach. The only things you take are Warp Core Breaches for 3 points, which is absolutely perfect. But that's not the only reinforced card on the list, as number 2 is Reinforced Hull, another Alliance upgrade that worked absolutely beautiful with the Klingon Empire. The only thing is they only put 1 copy in there, which was an absolute shame. It could have used more, to be fair. But basically, you add a +2 to your ship's hull value. And for 2 points, I'd happily take that upgrade all day. And finally, my favourite of the tech slots, the Klingon Cloaking Device. This is from the Mirror Universe. So when defending, if this ship is cloaked, you can convert 1 blank into an evade, and then during the end phase, place 3 time tokens on this card, and then this ship's token will flip to its green side. So you don't have to drop your cloak and then use it as an action next turn. It just comes back as it wants. Great stuff, guys. We're ploughing on nicely now, so we are going to move on to the top 10 Klingon weapons. I do have one there that's doubled, as you can see, but we're going to go in number 10 to start with. The Forward Battery. So my pal who's currently playing through Alliance with me at the moment, we've just started part 3. He's using Klingons, and he's got the Negvar, which is obviously that second symbol. The first symbol is the Vorchar, so it can only be used on those 2 ships. This weapon will cost you 5 points to run. But basically, when defending, declared a target step, if the attacking ship is in your primary firing arc, you roll 1 attack dice before they've even rolled. You roll 1 dice before they roll, and on a hit or crit, you deal 1 damage to the attacking ship before it attacks. It's a great little card. It's got him out of a few scrapes in the last few games, but it's a great little card. Number 9 is Ambush Attack. So, again, costly. It's 5 points. It is 5 dice. It is a range 1 to 2. You discard this card to perform the attack. And if your ship is cloaked, you gain +1 attack dice for the attack. If your ship is not in the target ship's forward firing arc, you may convert all your battle station results into hits instead. So it saves you the use of a battle station. Number 8 is the Phaser Array Retrofit. So when attacking with your primary weapon at range 3, you gain +1 attack dice and your opponent rolls +1 defense dice. Sorry, doesn't roll +1. He rolls 1 less defense dice. I need to put my glasses on, don't I? This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon ship. No ship may be equipped with more than one Phaser Array Retrofit. So, range 3, you gain a dice, they lose 1. Which is absolutely naughty. Don't remember eating that. In at 7 is 2 of the same, but obviously different ships. That's why I've done this. So you've got photon torpedoes. They're both range 2 to 3. They're both target lock spendings. This one you place 3 time tokens. This one you disable. This one can only be fired from a Negvar. This one can only be fired from a Vorchar. But, well, no, it doesn't say that they can only be fired. But if it is fired from one of those classes, you add 1 dice. So it can go up to a 6 attack on each one. 5 points, so they are slightly costly, but as we've already discovered, the Klingons are, when it comes to their tech and weapons, are quite costly. 6 is Magnetic Pulse. I love this card. I've used it a few times now. So the attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary printed value. It can be fired at range 2 to 3 from your forward arc only. Or your primary arc, I should say. The attack is you disable 1 active shield on this ship and target the opposing ship. And then if this weapon is equipped to a D7 class ship, it rolls +2 attack dice. So, for instance, if the magnetic pulse was on, if I just come up to here, I don't think I've actually got a D7 on my list, have I? No, I haven't. Okay, so the D7s were the animated ones, but I don't have any. So I'll just use the Katinga, for instance. So it's got 4. It gains a +2, so it'll go up to 6. I think, if I remember rightly, the D7's only actually got 3 dice. So it'll go up to 5. All criticals that would damage a shield on the defending ship inflict a hit to the defending hull instead. So if you roll 3 criticals, instead of taking 3 shields, you can just put those 3 dice straight through onto the hull of the ship and convert them down to hits instead, which is absolutely great. Moving on to number 5 is Disrupt the Sweep. So it's again another forward primary arc shot. The attack value of this is the primary weapon of your ship -1. So sometimes it can be worth it, sometimes it's not. You disable this card and target all opposing ships in that front arc, and you make a separate attack roll for each ship in it. So, for 4 points, if you've got 3 ships in your forward arc, you're going to fire at all 3 ships. Why not? Go for 4. The Photon Torpedoes. The standard Photon Torpedoes at 3 points from the Alliance Part 2. And the attack value of this is the primary weapon of your ship +1. You spend a target lock, disable the card, target your opposing ship, range 2 to 3. It's forward, it's primary or secondary firing, and you basically convert 1 blank into a critical result as well. Enough said on that one. To 3, Barrage of Fire. So it's a 4 dice attack, it's range 1 to 2. The attack states that discard to perform this attack. You target 1 friendly ship within range 1 of your ship. Target ship may not make a normal attack this round. Instead, add 1 primary weapon value of that ship to your attack roll for this attack. Both ships must have the enemy ship within their forward firing arcs. Place an auxiliary power token beside both ships. So, it's not bad. it works well. It's cost heavy because it's 5 points, but it stops your opponent from making a normal attack this turn. And then if they've got a 5 dice primary weapon value, you add it to your dice roll instead. So you'll be doing 9, I believe it is, dice, for instance, against like a sovereign or something. So you and the target ship would have to be in each other's forward firing arcs as well, which is quite naughty. But then you both take a an auxiliary power token for your troubles. Into number 2, Waylay. So Waylay is the attack value of the weapon is the primary weapon value. So whatever your primary weapon value is as a whole. So attack is place 2 time tokens on this card, target an opposing ship. If this card is equipped to a Barrel class, you place an auxiliary power token next to the defending ship. So when you shoot at them, they take an auxiliary power token from a Barrel. And then after making this attack, you may perform a left bank 1 or a right bank 1, and then place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. And the final of the weaponry is the Torpedo Fusillade, or Fusillade, whatever you want to call it. Everybody likes this card. It is a one-time use and then remove. As you can see, by attack, remove this card from the game and target all opposing ships, but you'd get to make an attack against every ship in your front arc. The cost and the actual value of the weapon is whatever your primary weapon value is. So if you've got a weapon value of 4, that's how much that card will cost you to play and how much of the attack you'll get as well. Moving through swiftly now, we are on to the last section, the crew. In at 10 is Maltz. I had to put Maltz in because Maltz is absolutely amazing. And this one is just for my friend out there, Jeff, in America. Jeff, I put Maltz in my list just for you. So his action is, if your ship is not cloaked, you can discard this card to target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2 of your ship. You can take up to 3 crew upgrades from that ship and deploy them to your ship, even if it exceeds the ship's restrictions. Or you can take 3 upgrades from your ship and deploy them to the other ship instead, even if it exceeds their restrictions. So he is a bit of a workhorse, if you like, because he's going to go, haha, why not? I'm going to do this. My action's going to be 1, 2, 3 from you. Come and join me on this ship. Or he might turn around and say, ooh, okay, we're not looking too great right now. Boom, 1, 2, 3, get back on that ship. He works well like that, in fairness. Only question I'm not too sure of is, will he trigger himself to send himself over? But, if Jeff happens to watch this video, then, Jeff, drop me a comment down below and tell me, can he trigger himself to send himself over? We will move on to number 9 now, which is Worf. I don't think I've seen a Klingon fleet that doesn't run this Worf as a crew slot on one of the ships, because he's just basically disgusting. When attacking, if your ship is cloaked, you convert all your blanks straight away into hits. He is at costly 5, but he's a well worth cost 5. Moving on to the next one, we have, there they are again, Lursa and Betor. So we already know what their captain sides do, but the bottom side is, if Betor is the captain of your ship, you may fill one of your crew slots with this card and gain +4 for your captain skill. This is why I didn't go through the captain skills earlier. And then obviously if Lursa is on the ship as the captain, yada yada, same again. So they go from a 4 up to an 8. And all you got to do is put the opposite sister into the crew slot. Absolutely broken. My pal John out there, who's probably going to watch this video, so big thumbs up to our pal John. He uses these cards in quite a lot of his fleets, and to be fair, they are deadly. They do what exactly as they say they do. you know, it is one of those, does exactly what it says on the tin sort of things. So they are number 8 on my list. I would have put them higher, but like I said, this isn't in any sort of particular order. 7 is Drex. Again, so Drex is a 4-point cost to play. When attacking this round, you may convert one of your battle stations into a critical, and all the rest of them will go to hits. So if you happen to roll a whole load of battle stations with your defense roll, you get 1 critical and all the rest are hits. Absolute destructive card to play, and such a great card at the same time if he's on your side. Moving to 6 is the First Officer from the Alliance pack. So, Klingon First Officer, when attacking or defending, you place 1 time token card on this card, and then you can convert 1 battle station into a hit or an evade. So, depending on which role you're doing at the time, I suppose. 4 points is 4 points well spent, if you want my opinion, because who wouldn't want a guaranteed, hit or crit to their role? Going in number 5 is Kern. I've mentioned Kern in a different video, which was my... it was the video that I had with the Federation, and I was explaining about Delta Flyer 2. He is disgusting because if you've got a weapon that needs to be discarded, for instance, Torpedo Fusillade, instead of getting rid of that card, you can re-equip it using Kern's ability, but you have to discard Kern instead. For 4 points, I would love to take that, because instead of me losing a weapon, I'll lose a person that's going to not really be much use to me anyway. Going into number 4, as we slowly approach the end of the video now, we've got the Weapons Officer. So when attacking, disable this card. You may convert one of your battle stations again into a critical, and all the rest of the results will go into hits instead. So it's basically the Alliance version of, where's he gone? Drex. Just there. Same cost, same thing. The only difference is you disable her, whereas he is an action. So it's up to you which one you want to choose. Go for 3 is Engaran. So she again is another action. Does exactly the same as Drex. When attacking this round, you may convert one of your battle station results into a crit, and all the rest become hits. So it is basically Drex's sister, if you like. I don't actually think they were, because I think it was 2 different series, but they do exactly the same thing. Into 2, Mara. So we've spoke about Kang and what Kang can do about discarding himself and adding 2 criticals to the attack roll. Instead of getting rid of himself, he will get rid of Mara. So when the captain of the ship would be disabled or discarded, discard instead. Why he keeps killing his wife in so many Klingon fleets, we'll never know. But he does, and we can see why. But to finish this video off, guys, I'm not going to flip this over. I want to see if anybody can take a quick guess at who you think is underneath here. I will give it 30 seconds before I reveal this card. And what I'm going to do is, that's giving you 30 seconds to quickly type in the comments down below what you think this card is. I'm just going to gas away for the 30 seconds, as we're now down to 15 seconds left. You can basically put your answer in, and then if you're right, during the end of it, just drop a message underneath your own comment and say, I was right. 3, 2, 1. It's Kalana. So, when 1 or more time tokens would be placed on a weapon upgrade equipped to this ship, you may place 1 fewer tokens. If this ship is cloaked and it is a Klingon weapon upgrade, you place 2 fewer tokens instead. So she gives you anything that would require, like, Waylay. Waylay would be a free attack every turn because Kalana. I don't think I've got many in the way of time tokened weapons in my list. No, I haven't. So basically just waylay at the moment would work for that, as you can see by that list. That doesn't mean that there's not other weapons you can't use it with. It just means that that's the only one I've got for an example. So she is absolutely great. She's only 2 points. She makes sure that your weapons just keep on firing every turn. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my top 10 list of what I believe to be the best Klingons in the game. From ships to crew, all the way down. And, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Drop us a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Wherever the buttons are, I'm not quite sure. But, get on it. Drop us some comments, whatever. Let me know if you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want to see next. I do still have my top 10s for Dominion, my top 10s for Borg, and I'm still haven't done the top 10s myself yet for Independent. But as soon as I get around to it, I'll get on it and we'll get it sorted. I won't do any more videos today now. I'll do the next 2 for tomorrow, which will be Borg and Dominion tomorrow. But on that note, as I think I've taken up enough of your time now with this video, I'm going to leave it there. Live long and prosper. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.